Evening, folks. About 3 years ago, when I was over at Perry Street, I was on one of the Neil deGrasse Tyson pages, and I asked to speak to him. It was his actual page. There's a few of them that I was on. His one. And I ended up speaking, I think it's to an admin. And I was going, I want to speak to him because I know speed of light is rubbish. I challenge him to a talk-off or whatever. He disappeared. So I'll be back in a minute. Disappeared for about 10 minutes, right? Came back. Might have been about a quarter of an hour. He came back and he said, "What qualifications do you have?" I said, "No." "I'll be back in a minute." He disappeared again for another 5. He came back and he said, "Neil said he won't talk to you because you've got no qualifications." Really? The reason I said, anytime, any place, I won't even need to bring a briefcase. I will trash the science using logic and common sense. And since back then, I don't know how many times I've messaged Brian Cox, Brian Greene, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I did Joe Rogan as well, because I thought he would like something like this. None of them. They have avoided me for 3-4 years. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I made it quite clear. Easy peasy, Japanesey. The first thing I need an explanation for is, why is it that the sun is directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse? You guys might get sick of hearing that. But folks, it's staring people in the face. There is no logical explanation for why the sun is directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse. There is, but it doesn't tie in with finite light. It's impossible. It's one of the biggest insults to people's intelligence, and believing that there are photons involved. You guys have lost that. You have lost your common sense. You're believing something that totally contradicts what you're seeing, what everybody sees with their own 2 eyes, at least once a year on Earth. How they've made people believe that garbage, it's beyond me. I stand by what I say with Neil and Brian, anytime, any place. My common sense, you can bring all the briefcases you want, all of the diplomas you want. My logic and common sense will trash your fake science, because it is a fake science. It's lies. The moon landing's lies. Relativity is a lie. Obviously, light is absolute. That's why the sun directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse. I had all these things thought up that I was going to do tonight, right? Got some speed of light paraphernalia. 2 years old. I'm going to keep the old printed copies, you know. There's some stuff in here, parallax and stellar aberration. Folks, here's the thing. Why go through all of this? MIT made claims that they had filmed light. They filmed light from crawling through the bottle. I'm calling lies. 100% lie. Slam dunk. It was all done behind closed doors. That's how they always do things. Always. They're lying, right? The speed of light is absolute. It's no 299 yada 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 per second. If all of these people, these liars and these charlatans that are lying to humanity, right? A logical explanation for a solar eclipse. How do you manage to find finite light somewhere in that scenario? Insult to people's intelligence. And those people who believe in the photon, you dumped the majority of your common sense by believing rubbish. You can see what is happening. There's no delay. It's the light source itself being blocked by the moon, right? Bullshit. It's lies. Where's that list? People and methods used. All of you liars, those of you that get up on your science fairs, you talk about your stuff. Lies. I know it's lies. I know you know it's lies. I know you know I know it's lies. And I know you know I know you know it's lies. You're liars. It's a charade. See, it's just rubbish. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Some positions you're in, this just gets hushed and you carry on with the bullshit. But reality can be ignored, but the longer it's ignored, the higher the price there will be to pay. And you guys, science fair people, should be ashamed of yourselves. You're a joke, all right? Anytime, any place. I'm being serious, right? Galileo, covered lanterns, 333,000 kilometers per second, roughly. I presume that's 333,000. It might just be 333.5 kilometers per hour. Roma, it's the next one, 220,000 kilometers per second. 1667. Io, Jupiter. Liars. There's no accurate timekeeping devices. Neither of those two should be on here. James Bradley, stellar aberration. More lies. More lies. We have Charles Wheatstone, 1834, rotating mirror. Arago, 1838, rotating mirror. Fitzone, rotating wheel. 30 years before electricity, you know, the one that bounced 8 Ks off the mirror, 8 Ks back. Leon Foucault, rotating mirror. James Clerk Maxwell, theoretical calculations. Marie Alfred Cornu, rotating mirror. Albert Michelson, rotating mirror. Heinrich Rudolf Hertz, electromagnetic radiation. Lies, lies, and more lies. You're just full of it. You've made everyone stupid, right? You've come up with all this bullshit, and everybody presumes this is your rapid fire strategy. So many names on there, why would anybody think of questioning them? Because it's obvious. There is no way. It's physically impossible to measure a light delay using Io and Jupiter. Impossible. Lies. Insults to people's intelligence. No timekeeping devices. Show us how he did it. You can't. Rotating mirrors. Rotating mirrors and silver mirrors and splitting the beam. Liars and charlatans. If you're not liars and charlatans, do it. I don't mean do it a 3-second thing and then you get to the end and then go, and that will give us 300 and something thousand kilometers per second. No. I mean, do it. Show us the procedure from start to finish, what each angle represents, the exact numbers for each step, where you get 1,000 kilometers per second, where you double it or treble it or whatever it is that you think you can do by spinning mirrors. You are lying again. So, 1849, 30 years before electricity. Do it. Don't just give it this like you always do in presumption. None of those are worth the paper they're written on. It cannot be done. Folks, they're lying to you about relativity. All of it is a big, fat zero. A slam dunk guarantee you. These people on those science fairs are making fun of you. They're cashing in the big dollars. It's given them a piggyback up certain status in society, and it is all deceit. It's all deceit. They cannot do one of the things that they're claiming were done back in the day. And none of them can come up with a logical explanation for why the sun is directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse. There's only one explanation, and that is because light is absolute. There is no delay. Now, just the gauntlet to you liars and charlatans. You've been avoiding me for 4 years. Simon Dan, respect. It ended, but at least he replied. There was a lot of presumption on his part, but he replied. Respect, Simon Dan. Mate, I guarantee you this stuff is bullshit. It's just an insult to people's intelligence. All the lies that are going around, and they have people caught up in BS relativity. Observer, from the reference, from the, you know what I mean. Everything is a lie. 1969, the moon, all of it. From there, achievements being claimed and knowledge being claimed that can't be known, and achievements that weren't achieved and still haven't been achieved. I'm openly, publicly accusing all of you of lying. All of you people that get up on those stages in the science fairs, you're lying, right? Like, I'm openly accusing you, like I have done before, but this is proper. You cannot replicate any of those tests, spinning mirrors. You can't do it. Some of the things that are written, they make no sense whatsoever. You've basically, it's fraud what you've done over the years. Moon, space travel, Mars. You're just a bunch of liars. I don't care. about any consequences. I really don't. These lies, it's the whole of humanity. You should be disgusted with each other. How you look at each other and laugh, those little private jokes. Oh, well, we've come to the end of physics. And then one of you goes, no, you never know what's around the corner. We head for one thing and end up doing something totally new. Because you make shit up as you go along. You can fool a lot of people. But you guys are a B-grade movie. It's so obvious. Again, a logical explanation for the moon and the sun being directly behind the moon during a solar eclipse. A logical one. I've had 4, 5, 6, all different. How could there be different versions of why the sun and photons? Somehow there's a light delay, guys. An insult to humanity's intelligence. And you're running Earth's science. Is it any wonder that you've left people with no common sense, telling them that common sense isn't required here? I didn't get the memo. My common sense will trash. It will physically rip your bullshit science apart. It's a challenge to you, all of you, the Bryans, and the Cox and the Green, and the Neil deGrasse Tyson. Chuck knows. I reckon he's going to inherit from Neil. He knows. He laughs, the jokes. It's so obvious. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What do I know? Guy in his shed, conspiracy theories. Shut up. No. Spin some mirrors. Show us. Do one of these things. Liars and charlatans. You are stealing. You are ripping people off. People are paying you money for subscriptions and stuff. You should be ashamed. Bullshit science. Lies and obvious lies. I'm going to call it there. I'm thinking about what to say all day. I wasn't going to do the accusation, but why not? Just throw it in there. There's so much other bullshit going around. This will just get muddled up in the mess. You guys, not the general public, it's not your fault. You've been lied to since you were kids, which is why you cannot differentiate. You don't have the common sense to spot the things that I cannot help but see, right? So I'm going to call that there. Boys in your court, liars and charlatans, what are you going to do? Send a 3-lettered agency around. This is the thing with this, right? I have not stolen any state secrets. I have not borrowed some information from another country. I'm not lying. I have worked all of this out on my own using that. Your lies, the deceit is obvious. And it's obvious that that's why you told people to drop the common sense. You have managed to make people stupid, haven't you? They must be to not be able to read you. And why it's slightly different. But you guys, it's like a bad B-grade movie. The lies are obvious. Kip Thorne, Nobel Prize, Interstellar, LIGO, gravitational waves, science fiction movie. I mean, it's the stuff. People not question it. It's just ridiculous. Honestly, all of it. It really is.
I hope that's a wrap. I don't want to do that again. Laters, peeps.